Okay, we're back. So Karin, you found something intriguing in your research that caught my attention. And that is the three most toxic behaviors you hear being tolerated and even rewarded are shaming, blaming, and intimidation. I want to get into the reasons why that happens. But first, those behaviors typically happen in dehumanizing cultures of fear that are modeled from the top down. And I believe where psychological safety, care, empathy, and compassion and belonging, when those things are absent and people can't be their true selves, so of course, there's not going to be any courage.
Right.
So here's a question. It's the year 2020. We're not in 1970 and we're far removed from the industrial age. Why do you feel people in leadership roles still lead through fear and intimidation?
Yeah. Couple of reasons. One is that they are insecure. I just was having this conversation with a very senior leader I was coaching the other day, and he was so frustrated by some behaviors that he was experiencing from someone. I said, where do you think that's coming from? And he's like, clearly insecurity. I mean, people know it, and so that's the thing. If you're showing up like this, people see it. They know what you're insecure, because that's the number one reason people act that way, because they have the power, they can get away with it, and they don't really know the better way to do it. They're scared to be vulnerable. They're scared to make that human connection. So they just tell people what to do. You know, we use an example in the book, a true story. Chief operating officer at a sales meeting puts up the stack rank of all of her senior team of their results. All right, that's not unusual. Right. But then goes to the people at the very bottom of the stack rank and hands the microphone in this public forum and say, can you explain what's going on? And mocking and intimidating. And I thought, oh, can you imagine? Are people going to come up with creative solutions to fix those results? In that environment, all you're going to do is whatever she says to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's shame. That's all of those, right? That's shame, blame, and intimidation. You know, or a senior leader who clearly had made a call that didn't turn out right. No big deal. We all make bad decisions, but then has amnesia that he was the one who had that, right? And begins to blame the director. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? You were there at the time, right? And so those are the things. If people are experiencing that, or any of this, you know, when reporters reach out to us and say, oh yeah, like psychological safety, you mean like the Me Too movement? No, like, I mean, if you're dealing with Me Too stuff or intimidation stuff, you don't have a fighting chance of building what we're calling a courageous culture. Because if it takes courage to just get out of bed and show up, you're not going to get people's best thinking.
Mm-hmm.